Okay, today we're going to talk about some of the basic things that you need to know about your IELTS test. It's very common, but still, some of you who are new to this, you do not know. So let me give you a brief detail of all those things. Now, to begin with, there are uh, two types or two modules: academic and general. Let's suppose you are a student right now and you are going for your further studies overseas somewhere where English is their native language. Let's suppose UK, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, USA, or anywhere where English is spoken. And you are applying for a uni or a college, a TAFE, diploma or anything, but related to study. So you will need to take the IELTS academic. But let's suppose you already graduated and you have work experience. Somehow you are lucky enough to receive a work permit, a PR invitation, or you are applying for immigration. Then you will need to go with IELTS general training. Two module, academic and general training. Now let's talk about UK especially. If you are applying for UK, then you will need to take the IELTS UKVI. It's the same. The only difference is you can only accept the computer deliver method. So if you are applying for UK, you will need to go with UKVI. It's United Kingdom Visa and Immigration. Apart from that, apart from UK, you giving academic or general training, you have two options. You can do on the computer based or you can do on the paper based. There are some differences. In academic, the speaking module and listening module, they are same, and for the general. So for academic and general, speaking and listening module are same, but reading and writing is a little bit different for both academic and general. We will talk about it in details. Sorry. Now, the second thing is, let's talk about paper-based. When you are taking the test on paper-based, your test will start with listening. You will be given 30 minutes for your audio session, like the audio will be playing. You could be hearing through your headphones, or there will be loudspeakers in the room, and you will be solving the questions. At the end of the audio, there are 4 sections in listening. So at the end of the audio, you will be given extra 10 minutes just to transfer your answer from the question sheet to your answer sheet right here. You could see this is how your answer sheet will look like, and you will be given extra 10 minutes on the paper based only to transfer your answers. If you are giving IELTS on computer based, you will not be given extra 10 minutes. You will be just given 2 minutes, because when you are doing the listening test on computer base, your answers are right away transferred to the answer sheet. You will be just given extra 2 minutes when the audio finished, just to have a look. Then comes the reading or writing. For the reading, you will be given 1 hour. 1 hour and only. There will be 3 sections and 40 questions. Listening also have 40 questions. Reading also have 40 questions. So reading is a little bit different for academic students and general training students. But overall, there will be 4 sections, 3 sections and 40 questions. Then comes writing. Writing have 2 tasks, 1 hour duration. Task 1 and task 2. For academic, in task 1, you will be asked to explain a bar chart, a pie chart, a paragraph, a process. Something will be, something which look like this, a bar chart, a graph, a pie chart, these sort of tables and charts, and you will need to explain it. And then the task 2 would be writing an essay. So Now remember, when you hear about these things, don't assume that they expect you to be some Einstein level and they will be asking you some rocket science question. It will be very relatable, something that you already have studied or you already have experienced in your life. Now let's talk about the writing for general training. When you are appearing for general training test, in task 1, you will be asked to write a letter, a formal letter and informal letter, or perhaps a mixture of both, semi-formal. You will need to write a letter. Uh, they will give you description, the detail, what you should include, who you are writing to. So always read the question. There will be uh, headlines for you in the question. Then task 2 is same as academic. You will need to write an essay. In the essay, again in the question, they will give you headlines. What type of essay you are writing? Who are you writing? What are the points that you need to consider? Okay, it's within 1 hour. So listening is 30 minutes plus 10 minutes on the paper and 2 minutes on the computer. Reading 1 hour on computer and paper. Uh, Reading and writing both 1 hour on computer and paper. Now let's talk about speaking. If you have seen a previous video where I explained to you how speaking test will be and how you could answer those questions. So remember always, speaking test is either a day or two or few days before the listening, reading, and writing, or after. So listening, reading, writing, you give these tests, let's say today. Might be your speaking have already done 2 or 1 day before, or you're gonna do speaking after those days. So the speaking is usually 11 to 14 minutes. From the time you enter the room and you leave, it will be maximum 15 minutes. And it's always face-to-face interaction. So you are talking to a real human being, like, no, like right now you are watching me. So it would be similar to like this, but in real time. The examiner will be sitting in front of you and he will be asking you some basics question. There are 3 parts in the speaking test. Part 1 would be, to get familiarized with you, and the examiner, he will ask you basic question like about your study, your work, your home, your hometown, just very basic things. Then there's part 2. Part 2, the examiner would give you a cue card. Let's say, how do I show you? So let me see if I can get, okay. So the examiner would give you a cue card like this in the middle. So it will be a small paper like this. He will give you a cue card. There will be headlines for you, what you need to talk and what point should you include. And he will also give you a piece of paper where you could make notes just for 1 minute, and then you will need to talk about for 1.5 or 2 minutes. So for 1.5 or 2 minutes you will continuously talk. The examiner will stay silent. He will be just watching you and examining you. This is where he want to check your communication level and your fluency and how you could talk. Now remember, the purpose of all those tests is to test your language ability, to test your listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Because you are going overseas to a place where, your language is not spoken, it's English. So you will be communicating in English. The lecture you will attend will be in English. If you are going for work, it will be in English. So every daily routine that you engage in, the communication medium will be English. So this is why the examiner checks you. Now let's coming back to the speaking part. So once you are done with the speaking part 2, the examiner will stop you, and then the part 3 starts, where examiner asks you question. So the part 3 is usually, in most cases, related to the part 2 topic. Like, let's suppose they ask you about, you know, I would make a separate video because it's a long discussion, but the topics are really relatable. Like for instance, they could ask you to describe a person that you know in your family or in your circle who is doing a business. What type of business they are doing? What do you think about that person? Why he is doing that business? Would you do the same business in future? So, this sort of question, it's very relatable. So in part two, the examiner will ask you question, and especially in part three, you need to give long answer. You need to stretch. You need to stretch. Like, let's suppose, if the examiner asks you, would you prefer to do the same business in the future? And your answer is no. And then you are silent. This is not how it's gonna work. Okay, so I have separate video lessons for listening, for speaking, where you could get an idea how to handle the situation. But this was the overall, and this is the demo class that I usually give to my student without any cost. um, on my website, on my page, a lot of students, they approach me and they ask about IELTS, and I say, okay, I will give you a free demo class, one-to-one, like in real time. I give them class, and they ask me question and I answer them. But the thing is, to be quite honest, whenever you hear something is free, you think it doesn't have value, and you know while I'm actually helping you. Nobody is giving you any free information. I'm helping you, and if you're not on time, and if you drop the call, you don't talk, you're just wasting my time. I mean, there are plenty of other things that I need to take care of. So if I give you my time, you should better respect that. Time is money. Okay. So apart from this, if you have any other question, feel free to ask me down below in the comment section, or you could DM me, you could send me on Messenger or whatever medium you are watching me from. Yeah. So this was it. I wish you good luck with your future success. Either you're going for study or you're going for work permit or whatever it is. Good luck to you, and take care. I will see you again in the next topic. Till then,